Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Hooks. If you're new here, my name is Leanne.
My name is Suzette.
And Hooks is basically where we talk about some true crime stories and I do some crochet projects, right? So in today's episode, we will be talking about Miss Aileen Wuornos. So buckle up because this is a lot of for shorty. We're gonna go ahead and light this crochet candle and get into this story.
Yes, we gotta light the crochet candle so we can have good vibes every week. He was born on February 29th, which is actually a leap year, so she, go figure. February 29th, 1956. She was born to Leo and Diane. Leo happened to be 18 when he married Diane when she was 14. But you gotta understand, back in those days, marriage, it didn't matter. I mean, they were getting married as early as 13. Girls was having menstruals and can have babies. Now, them two had a very tumultuous marriage, but they did have two kids, Eileen and then her older brother. When Diane and Leo did divorce, it was only after 2 years of marriage. So Eileen never met her dad. However, Mr. Leo did go to jail in 1867, and he was sentenced to life for raping and kidnapping a 14-year-old. While he was in prison, he was diagnosed as being schizophrenic. Schizophrenic. I'm not a psychiatrist, but from what I have heard about this diagnosed, they hear voices, and their voices sometimes tell them to do things that normal people don't do. Now, I don't know if that was the case with him, but I have heard a lot of people saying with that you hear voices, you're easily agitated, you're just all over the place.
There was a guy that I didn't know him personally. I just seen him passing, but his reflection
Would scare him.
no, it set him off and made him angry. Like every time I walked by a window or a mirror, he'd start beating on the mirror or the window and start screaming, fuck you. Yeah, like his reflection.
See what I'm saying? So that it's a diagnosis that's kind of, you know, and back then they didn't really get treated with the care. They just figured you were crazy, so you don't need to be alone. But town needs to read 14-year-old and kidnapping them, and why should he be with the public? However, one thing he could, him having life in prison, because in 1969, he committed suicide by hanging himself in the jail. Interesting thing. You don't understand how people are able to hang themselves in prison when there's guards that's supposed to be watching them. So when I said, her dad, we know her dad. We don't really know what happened to Miss Diane. All we know is they say abandoned. Don't really call it abandoned if you left them with their grandparents. So
She abandoned her responsibilities
that's what she did. And she did this when Eileen was only 4 years old. So, not knowing your dad, your mom then left you at 4. It's not starting off to a healthy relationship for Miss Eileen. And then, by 11, her grandfather was molesting her, raping her, beating her, would make her strip nude, so no clothes, beat her, rape her, and that was just an everyday thing. So sex to her became I don't know, normal. Because, I mean, that granddad raping her, but she also having sex with people at school for cigarettes and stuff. And oh, Keith, big brother, they having sex. 14, Miss Marlene, when she gets pregnant, and by one of her grandfathers, oh shit. What grandfather is doing is because you were in what you know what goes on in this. He sees it today, and she went and was living on an abortion. She gets a kid, and she never knew the kid. Kid never known her. She was the kid. I don't know if he's still alive now, but she has a kid over here that somebody doesn't even need to know them to admit it. Remember it was 15, her grandfather kicked her out. They, she wasn't too far from the house. She was living in an old house, in the woods or she was living in the woods by one of her old houses. So I don't know if that's the house that her and her mom and brother used to stay out, but stayed in the woods in the back of one of her old houses. And y'all know how she supported herself, right? If we don't know, Constitution is the first name. But 18 is when her early criminal line. We started at 18, right? She's in California. She gets arrested for a DUI, disorderly conduct, marrying a 22 caliber from a moving vehicle.
She bang bang driving. Don't play with my girl.
Like, don't play. And it is, she was one of the terms, did not, it was very easy to say, like, she didn't even know social skills. She learned.
Right. Because please don't learn them from your family.
Please don't. Then, Tiffany said, Eileen hitchhiked to Florida, where she met a 69-year-old young president, Louis Grant.
Louis Grant.
Louis Grant. Yes, y'all heard it right, Louis Grant. They married. It didn't last long, very long. Their marriage was a total of 60 days, if that. Because, like, within 2 weeks of their whole thing, he had to get a restraining order against her because this girl took his cane. When she took his cane, beat him with it,
Oh, shit.
and then pushed down some stairs.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, but then,
You hear beats, goddamn.
right. So, you know, he had to go ahead and put a restraining order on her.
2 weeks before they got married?
It says within weeks.
Okay.
It make it go back. We didn't even have a marriage to where they had to go to divorce. That shit was a no. Turned back to Michigan, y'all, and got arrested for assault and disturbing the peace. And girlfriend, this time, I don't know what the bartender did to her, but whatever he did, she didn't like it because she threw a cue ball at his head.
Oh.
So, yeah, don't play with her. So, now here's all things that was kind of bright for, not bright, but bright. I mean, well, then she had that little 10,000. Eileen did something good. Because she was, you know, driving situation going on, and she had a fine of 150, $150, so she paid that. Got a little bit of insurance, got a little car that she ended up wrecking, 2 weeks after having it, being drunk.
Okay.
Now, in 72, I'm sorry, at 78, she was 22 years old. Baby girl, she had nothing going for her. So she tried to take herself out of here. It didn't work, but she didn't try to take herself out of here. And this was a blessing in God because she was herself in the steamer. She tried at least 6 times to kill herself. Six times to kill herself. Yeah, demons. Maybe she was like, well, maybe that's why she started to becoming a serial. That's why she became a serial killer on the line because I can't kill myself. I've tried 6 times and I'm not doing it. Baby girl gets arrested and charged with car theft, resisting arrest, obstruction of justice for using her aunt's ID. But I mean, like, if she is prostitute, she has to demand $200 and up the strap on someone. No, that she think about that for a man. She said it's not real. I guess so let's promote it. Since she didn't be something. Met Kyrie, Kyrie Moore, for the purposes of me being able to pronounce her name.
Because she says it's Tyria. It's Tyria because A at the end is Ty and then R-I-A. But Tyra, she says Tyra. So I guess the fucking I is Tyra. But we can call the girl Ty.
She met Tony, and it's all like, maybe she didn't put her hands on Ty, they didn't have an abusive relationship. And I really feel like she loved Ty gave up everything to be with Eileen. So, to make sure work, Eileen couldn't stop. To, she did try, but she tried to get a 9 to 5. But she was going on here to years offices, she made it a job. She didn't hit that Burger King or McDonald's. She was like, I gotta get that. If we see a little bit, to get another and think, put your record. You really didn't understand the word of the her very first victim, though. He is a victim because she killed him. But watching the movie and hearing her testimony of this victim and this victim alone, we just talking about this victim and we talking about this victim alone. I want everybody to understand that, okay? This victim and this victim alone. He did beat the shit out of her. He did rape her. He did tie her hands to the fence. Repeatedly went up in her. Repeat. Sometimes with his penis, sometimes with the pole. Whoa. Yeah. So she ended up getting herself free from the pride. Shot him. Shot the shit out of that nigga. To the point where it was 2 bullets in his lung, left lung. He also should him. The first murder did happen in December. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna talk about when she went to court later. Let's let's move on to the second victim. Shit. Second victim was a construction worker, and due to the fact that I couldn't really find pictures of the victim, I am not gonna say their names. There is gonna be victim 1, victim 2, so on. But the second victim, he was a construction worker. He was 47 years old. By the way, all her victims was between 40 and 65. Interesting thing. He was declared missing, and then he was found shot 6 times and naked, and he was shot with a 22 pistol. His death date was 6/1/90. Okay? All right. Third victim, 40 years old, part-time rodeo worker. What does a rodeo worker do? Can somebody let me know because
A rodeo worker is probably someone that like the side job with the rodeo, like not even side job, would probably maintain like booths and the upkeep. Like if he wasn't like one of
in
the
America
yeah, they have rodeos here.
all year?
Yeah,
Have you been to one?
no, but it's a big thing.
Then he was found naked and wrapped in an electric blanket. Well, at least she tried to keep him warm. After she shot him 9 times.
Damn.
With a 22,
Okay.
remember? And his was, she was Debbie. His was 6'6". You know, this victim was, or second victim was 6'1". And then, all right, moving on. Baby girl was getting it. Now, this is where stuff started getting real lurky for me. Because victim four is how she really kind of got caught up and but didn't get caught up, and y'all gonna see what I'm saying. That's victim four. He was 65. He was a retired merch seaman. Don't ask me. I don't know what a merch seaman does, but we're in Florida. Carolina probably got the best seafood. They do got some good seafood. I have been in Florida, missed my packing. I ain't never been to Florida. If you do the seafood, they rain in the water. Okay? But she took his car and was rolling along with it after she murdered him. Okay? So her and Miss Todd riding around in the murder victim's car. Like in the car, the police sometimes don't deal in real time. That's all I'm saying. So what number was that? It was victim four. We on victim four. Now here was some real crazy stuff. Y'all wanna know what his profession was? He was 50 years old and his profession was the sausage delivery.
Okay, so
He was reported missing in July 1990. His body was found August 4th, 1990. And he was found in a wooded area. And my golly gee, he wasn't me. So, you guys remember when I told you the little car accident that they were in the freaking dude's car that she murdered? Came back home. You know, because of the witness, the scene. Well, that must have been very 15. So, their faces was wrong to the police. And guess what the police did? Because they couldn't find, so they put y'all on TV, of course. So, media, Kevin, and then not to mention fingerprints are being done before all that shit you had. to mention, I don't really know what you would do if you taking people's belongings, what to do with it, but I don't think you should go to a pawn shop. That's all I'm saying. You don't think you should. What is it about these criminals and putting stuff in the bag? Don't you know something? They picture, yeah, they picture landed them and police.
Yep.
Now, this is amazing writing, okay? They already snitched on this time. And like I said, Miss Pine was a bad girl, but I mean, she wasn't a bad girl. She was a good girl, disliked women, and a lot of her family couldn't vibe with the fact that she liked women. But you gotta remember, during this time, it wasn't really out there and okay.
Yeah.
And so, so they caught Tyra, and I'm a little bit confused because by being arrested, how this was Tyra calling, let me say something. How could the Tyra call Aileen?
Yeah, when you were saying that earlier, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
She was just accessory, though.
musically. So on 1/14/92, she went to trial for now, like, or for her first murder, and his name was True. And the reason why she went to trial was because of what True did to
Yeah.
her.
She would have had a better, easier way of getting out of it.
But that didn't work for her because on January 27th, they convicted her for it and sentenced her to life for it. And then 4 days later, because of her talk with Tyra, she went ahead and confessed to, well, she pleaded no contest to three of her victims. Yeah, three of her victims, and she received that 3 more death penalties for that. So now we're at 4 death penalties. And then on uh, 6/92, she went ahead and pleaded guilty to the last 2 murders, which gave her another 2 death penalties. I don't understand why they kept giving her death penalties. I don't even understand why they give people life without a chance of parole, then death, and then say, or no. It was the one that I've heard that was the most crazy. Gave them the death penalty, and then told them that they had another life on top of that. So, people, are we gonna electrocute them, bring them back to life, kill them again, bring them back to life, and then kill them again? It just don't be. I don't, once they leave, they're dead, but, um, and with the rights in the movie, remember, in my opinion, it hurt her seeing Ty get on that witness stand and point to her and say, "We did this, we did that." Aileen, this one they know that she loved Tom. And even besides everything, while she was sitting there on death row and all the mass interviews she was getting, she never had nothing bad to say about Tom. She didn't. And even Ty said that she loved Eileen and will always love Eileen. But when the question came, well, why did you turn Eileen in? It was silence. She had nothing to say. But my question is, what did y'all want her to say? Like, they're talking about putting her in jail for the rest of her life for something that she had nothing to do with. The only thing she did was driving the vehicle. She didn't know this was a dead man.
Right.
So technically,
We say that all the time, baby. I'm not going to jail for me.
nobody. So if you were intimidated, you never should really see, because if they come at me door, I'm gonna send them to your door. Like I said, she did have a lot of interviews while she was on death row, and I'm pretty sure anywhere you turn on Netflix, Amazon, anywhere,
She was even AHS, Story Hotel.
so you're gonna hear of her. She's hard to not know. They did, however, execute her by lethal injection. She denied her last meal, but she denied anything up to $20. And in the 90s, in Florida, and then again, they did say, because she said, if you're gonna kill me, get it over with. Like, she was tired of being on that room as well. Me personally, when you start telling me to kill you, I'm gonna make you suffer and make you live a little bit longer. But at 9:47 on October 9th, 2002, she was executed. And that is the story of Miss Aileen.
All right.
And like I said,